Hey guys, happy Friday. Friday. I wish. Happy Tuesday. You've had a good week so far. Happy Tuesday. Here I am, Daniel Cook, live at 5 in the Ultimate Performance community. It's great to see you. I was just throwing in 2 to 5 minutes of practice on the keyboard. Keyboard still isn't my number one instrument. I majored in classical voice at university, but it's something that it's a necessary tool as part of my job ongoing and coaching and musicality. And it's also something I enjoy. I really enjoy just sitting down, playing not only exercises but writing, putting some chords together that sound funky, having a bit of a sing, and doing it and this is a tenuous link, in kind of small, little, achievable micro habits that, if you implement daily, become so much easier than if you think I'm going to sit down and do 2 hours of practice today. I'm going to do 5 minutes now before I jump on and do my live at 5. It just becomes so much more enjoyable and so much easier. So hence, we kick off today's live at 5, where I'm talking about taking imperfect action. Hello. Hi, people in the group. Thanks for jumping on and saying hi. Taking imperfect action. We're all culprits of this somewhere down the line or not. I definitely have been over the years a perfectionist in several different ways, and thinking, well, it's not good enough, so I therefore just won't do it, and or even make a start. So today I want to talk about mini habits. The name is pretty self-explanatory. A mini habit is, hi Henry, thanks for tuning in. A mini habit is basically a small version of a habit you want to form. So rather than 100 push-ups in a day, if you're looking to build your strength, you do one. Maybe two. I mean, one's not that many. Writing 3,000 words becomes writing 50 words every day. Thinking positively all the time, which in itself is impossible. Maybe you reduce that down to thinking about 2 positive thoughts per day. And I love this quote by Lao Tzu. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step, 1 foot in front of the other, and especially during these, well, soon to be close, soon to hopefully at least the end drawing close to these difficult COVID times. It's all really been about putting 1 foot in front of the other, as far as I'm concerned. So let's have a think about these couple of things. Think about what the following truths mean for your life. So big intentions are worthless if they don't bring results. So for example, you can say that you will exercise for 2 hours every day, but if you never do it, the size of the intention doesn't matter. In fact, intention without action harms self-confidence. And I'll say that again. Intention without action harms self-confidence. For example, look, everyone's gagging for the gyms to be open, right? So the day the gyms open up, we say, all right, I'm going to get up super early, on top of like a list of a million things to do, and practicing piano and coaching and working on my passaggio and doing all these kinds of things. I'm going to get up and I'm going to do 2 hours in the gym. I'm super unfit at the minute. I'm going to go do 2 hours at the gym before I launch into my day. So what happens is the alarm goes off. You've really probably got a little bit of anxiety about the fact that the alarm's gone off half an hour earlier and that you're going to the gym in any case. So what happens is the alarm goes off, you lie there for a bit and you think, oh God, 2 hours at the gym seems monumental. I mean, at the minute, that seems like climbing Mount Everest to me. So what happens is you make a cup of coffee, you probably slide back into bed, you scroll through your socials for a little bit, being super unproductive, and then all of a sudden it's like 10:30. So the window for your gym has then shut. The snowball effect of that is that you get through the rest of your day feeling probably slightly unmotivated by the fact that you didn't go to the gym, and you get to the end of the day and the 10 things on your list, you've maybe crossed off one of them. So it's about, for me, like I said before, it's about just making it realistic and bite-sized and achieving it, making it habitual so that it's just something that you can't not do. People have been shown in studies to chronically overestimate their self-control ability. And these two simple points reveal why so many people struggle to change. They have such big ambitions, but overestimate their ability to make themselves to do what it takes to make that change. So it's like a mismatch between desire and ability. And so here's two more facts to consider. Doing a little bit is infinitely bigger and better than doing nothing, both mathematically and practically speaking. Doing a little bit every day has a greater impact than doing a lot on one day. How much greater? Well, like profoundly so, because a little bit every day is enough to grow a lifelong foundational habit, and those are a big deal. For me, an example of this is I was working with a coach a few years ago and working on my passaggio. So for the singers out there, that's the kind of area in your voice that you're looking to kind of even out. For boys, it's that kind of, I don't know, E, F sharp, G. That bit in your voice that's kind of, it's not quite your falsetto, your head voice, and it's still kind of in chest. And I call it for the students that I currently coach, I call it my Scooby Doo area, like that kind of that area where it's not fragile, but it's kind of on edge, or it can be. So it's it could go either way. And for boys, kind of learning to develop and strengthen their voice around that kind of passaggio or break area, it can be super tough. And it can, a little bit like the gym analogy, it can be like, oh God, it's so tough and it's so frustrating that I'm just gonna try and belt big things and I'm not gonna kind of address the root of the problem. So this coach that I was seeing simply said, like, just do some sirens. This is super basic kind of level 1, grade 1 vocal stuff, but just do some sirens up and around, like lower than where your break is, and then take yourself higher than where it is, and then come back down and see where it sits in the middle, and do it 5 times. Take it up. You know, that's taken, by the time I've finished, the best part of a minute, if that. And the more I did it, the more I found that area of my voice, funnily enough, was stronger. You know, it was something that I just implemented into my daily routine. Funnily enough, it was something that I also did at the gym. You know, like if I was resting in between sets, I would, and I'd get some funny looks, but who cares, do a little either literal over my break or some sirening over my break, just because I'm standing there doing nothing and I may as well be doing something, to force myself into habitual change. And there's nothing stronger than a habit. And I'm sure, like, there's a lot of you out there that have felt stuck. Have you ever tried to change yourself for the better and failed? Have you done it over and over again and even stopped trying for long periods of time? We've all been there. And look, consider these more interesting questions. What if your failure to take action and stick to your plan was never a problem with you, but a problem actually with your strategy? The strategy that most of the world uses and endorses. And what if the science about human behaviour, willpower and the brain suggests a better alternative for sticking to your plans? One that is rarely practiced or promoted. And what if a shift to this new strategy changed everything for you, and no matter how you felt, you knew you could take action, reach your goals, form good habits and change your life? Well, that's mini habits in a nutshell. It's about small incremental things over and over again. I've just got a new puppy, a little Yorkie poo called Rocco, right? Where it's about treat and reward for Rocco, because his attention span, well, I'd like to say it's getting longer, but it seems like it's not. It's about treat and reward. So at the minute, he's biting everything. The coffee table, there's this stuff that we bought to spray the coffee table. It's got a foul taste to it. so it's meant to like deter them from biting the coffee table. He loves it. It's like pate for him. So we're trying to draw him away with treats, reward, call, and all of that kind of thing. All of these things for a dog that we're doing 5 to 10 minutes a day because that's all his attention span are. We're really in the grand scheme of things and trying to retrain our brain from centuries of trying to overachieve monumental tasks and failing. So I guess the other analogy I like to use is like, have you ever driven a car without power steering? You know, like you've really got to yoink that wheel down until the car's pointing right, and our brain responds exactly like to the changes like cars without power steering. Each alteration can just make huge differences in your life. So that's really the core of mini habits. I try to implement them in different levels, not only in my singing voice and my performance aspect, but in terms of other little mini goals that I've got, in terms of producing, in terms of recording. I've just released another single with a very dear friend of mine called Phoebe Panaretos, a Lady Gaga cover this week. It took the best part, is one song, it took the best part of probably 6 weeks for us to get our bits together and get it done, especially during these times. But I recorded a bit, I sent it to her, she recorded a bit, she sent it back. We had the piano laid down, I had some strings added to it. Like, again, small, achievable chunks going, oh my God, we've got to record this song and we've got to put it out there. I mean, we don't have to do anything. It gives me severe joy to do these things. So I want to do it. And it was probably annoying me more that I hadn't, and that it took us so long. But I said, right, this week we're doing it. I'm going to get the artwork designed. You're going to put down a vocal. I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to lay down mine, the harmonies. We're going to blend. And sure enough, 6-7 weeks later, it's done. So another example. Let's talk about motivation for a little minute. Does getting motivated work? Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. At times, you can kind of conjure up motivation to exercise or write 2,000 words, but other times you might end up taking a nap, watching TV, or drinking beer or a double gin and tonic, as the case may be. And this is a huge problem because if getting motivated is your strategy, you can't really build habits, because we know that habits require consistent repetition. And don't get this concept wrong, motivation is a super important part and a super important feeling with many benefits. But think of it as a bonus, really, something nice when it appears, but it's possible you currently rely on getting motivated, then it's like, in my opinion, it's unreliable. And motivation, as far as I'm concerned, is unreliable because it's based on how you feel. And we've known for centuries as human beings that we're fluid and severely unpredictable. Many things can alter our feelings, like look at the world as it's been, blood sugar. I mean, I get severely hangry, depression, chemical fluctuations, hormones, health, different things going on, energy levels, beliefs, and like doggy poop on the floor for me at the minute. You know, like all of those things can affect your motivation. And I guess what I'm saying in other words is it's just like motivation is not, it's a bonus, but it doesn't create a habit. The number one rule of any foundation for me is that it must be solid, and motivation is like building a house for me on kind of liquid. So let's talk about the willpower and why willpower beats motivation as far as I'm concerned. The mini habits willpower strategy is very conducive to motivation, which again is good, but unreliable. I found that by using willpower, motivation becomes more reliable. And motivation comes fast when you take action first. There are 3 reasons why forcing yourself to take action with willpower is far better than trying to get motivated. And then here's number 1. Number 1, willpower is reliable. So unlike motivation-based techniques, willpower is extremely reliable. If you force yourself to do something, no matter what, it's dependable. Like, it's there and it will be done. Number 2, willpower can be strengthened. Unlike motivation, willpower can be strengthened like a muscle. And again, I've talked about athleticism in performing. There's a leading self-controller researcher called Professor Roy Baumeister found in 1999 that students who had exercised their willpower to improve their posture for 2 weeks showed a marked improvement on subsequent measures of self-control compared to those who hadn't worked on their posture. I've just made a small incremental change considering the amount of time I'm at my desk. I bought an ergonomic chair. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but sure by hell it's comfortable. It makes me sit up properly. It's my legs are the right distance from the floor, and my back's not hurting as much. Said like an old man. But again, things like that, taking small incremental steps. And number 3, willpower strategies can be scheduled. If you rely on motivation, you will have a difficult time sticking to a schedule. When it's time to write, who knows if you'll be motivated or not. It's unpredictable and it's not calendar friendly. So that's about it, really. I guess it's about making, if you think about them as just stupidly small strategic actions for every day, these actions then are too small to fail and too small to skip for special occasions. They serve dual purposes to spark you to do more and become like the epitome of someone who has many habits in their life. So this is a huge. I mean, I could go on forever about this. Truly, this is a massive module in my Ultimate Performance Academy, which is the amazing 12-week coaching course that I run. If you'd like to find out more about that, I've got some calendar spaces that have opened up this week, and I'd love to have you jump on and we'll have a chat about what working with me looks like, and of course, mini habits and implementing them into your daily life to find your ultimate performance, which is exactly what we're here in this group to do. I'm just wondering if there's any questions from the group. Anyone out there who's with me live at 5? Here we go, here's a few. How do you record your mini habits progress? Do you just do this mentally, or do you find using a wall chart, iPhone notes, diary helps? So funnily enough, if you come on board with the Ultimate Performance Academy, you'll get a whole bunch of resources to help you record all these. However, if you want to start making small incremental changes now, I highly recommend writing them down and dictating them, because then you go back at the end of the day. I'm a huge list person, and marking things off a list. I've got an app actually called To Do, which I put in here, everything that I want to do, and tick it off. It makes a really, actually I can do this. It makes a really satisfying sound at the end of the day when you've ticked it off. And I've got sound effects with this new software. So I'm gonna do that again. There you go. It's the small things. Tick them off at the end of the day, and they just make you go back and you can see the ticked off things from the day you've done, like the next day, and you think, oh God, look at all the things that I did yesterday. So I would say writing them down is hugely, hugely beneficial. Because obviously things change and we, things get in the way, but I just think if I've got like the top 5 things of what I need to achieve for the next day, both, career-wise and personal goals. Like for me, I wanted to read more this year, and I'm doing that. I'm doing like 10 pages a night in bed. 10 pages used to be a lot for me, but now I'm getting through it. I've got actually the first 4 months of the year up here in calendar on my wall with a bit of vision board things going on. There's a picture of snow skiing, which unfortunately didn't happen, but I've crossed off nearly 60 days of no drinking, which was just something that I wanted to kick off the start of the year with, because COVID and Christmas and all the things that go with it. It's just I wanted to and coming out the other side of it, just going, I want to make some changes. So I think it's super, super important. That's a very long-winded way, sorry Wayne, to say I think it's super important to write things down. Any other questions here in the group? Just having a look. So yeah, I guess if in summary, to wrap it up, there's six things really that I would choose to implement into your own mini habits. And again, I go into them more detail in the course, but brief for now, they're like step 1 would be choose your mini habits and habit plan. So choose one or two, or even just one. And again, if it's when the gyms open up again, you want to go swimming, just don't say I'm going to do 20 lengths. I've actually heard someone do this story. It's like, 20 lengths. I used to be able to do 20 lengths. I got there, I couldn't even do one. So the next day, they were so despondent by the fact they couldn't do 20 lengths, they didn't even go. The next day, they set out their swimwear next to the bed, ready to go to the gym, and they just put on their swimwear. And that, for them, that stupidly mini thing of just putting on their swimwear already sets up a great cognitive thing in your brain to go, well, I've at least got my swimwear on today, and tomorrow maybe I'll get my swimwear on and I'll go and do a lap of the pool. We're all on our own journeys here, so it's like super, super important that you just conquer your own goals on a day-to-day basis. Step 2, use the why drill on any mini habit. Step 3, define your habit cues. Step 4, create your reward plan, because again, action and reward, very similar to doggy training. Step 5, write everything down. There you go, Wayne. Step 6, think small. Again, think small. When you develop a habit, you say, brain, we need to exercise, and your brain will reply, I was already on my way to the treadmill. Try to keep it up. 5 minutes is not a lengthy amount of time to go for a walk around the block if you haven't left the house in 3 days. Small incremental things. And again, like my piano playing, not my forte. I've been practicing that chord progression for, 5 minutes a day for the last week. Soon I'll be able to put it together and play a whole song. So I think that's about it for today's Live at 5. I'm super excited that things are looking up in our world, in the performing arts world. I know I had a call with my agent this week. Things are opening, shows are starting to plan. We need to get ready. We need to be strong. We need to overcome our fears, overcome our anxieties. We need to start daily practice, and we need to be the best we can be for when things open again. So if that's all, is there anything else in the group? No, I think that's all for today. So if that's all, it's been great having you here live at 5 with Daniel Cook here, and I'm so thrilled that I've had to turn one light on, but it's still light at 5, at nearly 5:25. So thrilled about that. Hopefully daylight saving will be here soon, and I'll be doing it here with the sun beaming in. It'll be hot because this flat gets super hot in the summer. Hopefully, guys, I'll see you in and around the group during the week. As always, if you want to find out any more about me or the Ultimate Performance Academy and how working with me looks like, get on my calendar. It'll be on a link here, and book a time suitable to you. And I look forward to speaking with you all soon. This is Dan Cook, live at 5, signing off. Bye for now.